tuning in to the Eggman Empire. Authorization approved. Access granted.
Let's get into some heavier topics. I was going to go on a huge discussion about this, but I don't want to spend too much time on this for my video. I will happily discuss in the comments to anybody who requires further clarification after I'm done with this topic. When it comes to writing mandates and what you can do in a story, every single, and I do mean every single company ever has mandates like these. With that said, Shadow the Hedgehog's actions in this comic and the backlash that came from it is not Sega's fault. This is 1,000,000% Ian Flynn's fault. Here's why that is. First, you guys need to stop gaslighting yourselves and other people into believing Sega is entirely to blame. And you need to not let Ian Flynn gaslight you into not taking blame for something that is his fault through being vague about the actual argument being made. The argument that you all should be making is not that Ian writes Shadow wrong. Ian writes him exactly as Sega wants him to write him. So whenever you say that Ian Flynn fails at writing for Shadow, it makes it very easy for him to just respond that Sega wants him that way. Yes, Shadow's personality is Sega's fault. That is the mandate. The actual argument you need to make is that Ian himself does not know how to write scenarios for Shadow with the personality that Sega wants him to have. Ian has an entirely different interpretation of Shadow that Sega does not agree with, and because of that, Ian is constantly given notes to correct his mistakes. That's the actual truth. It's another argument to say that you want Shadow to return to his SA2 and 06 era. I would love that too, and Ian would also agree that is what he wants. Sega does not want that. Ian is simply not good at writing for the personality that Sega actually wants Shadow to have. So when Ian does write for Shadow, he makes him do and say very dumb things. That is his writing that is doing that. You need to make it clear when arguing with people that Ian's story decisions for Shadow are the problem, not Shadow's personality. Ian is not dumb. He knows the argument you're making, but he can publicly deflect it if you state that argument incorrectly. Shadow's personality does play a role in his dialogue, but rarely does it ever affect his actions for the narrative. What you can say is Sega's fault is Shadow's personality and his character. What you cannot say is Sega's fault is Shadow getting infected and choosing to stay there and fight. Ian has made it abundantly clear that Sega did not make Shadow get infected. This was entirely his idea, and he always planned it from the very beginning. Anybody that says that Shadow's fate in this comic is somehow Sega's fault is wrong, and they are making an already debunked argument. The only thing, I repeat, the only thing that Sega made Ian Flynn change about the scene in issue 19 was that Shadow could not use his inhibitor rings, as admitted by Ian Flynn himself. So allow me to explain what a mandate actually is. Mandates are something that are officially required, meaning something that you have to listen to, or you're out of a job. In terms of writing, this ensures that the entire franchise is unified spiritually, if not directly. Here's some direct examples of a mandate. We'll just use the Sonic series, but this kind of latches on to everything out there. Sonic is not red. Sonic does not want to be in a committed relationship. Vector is a crocodile. Eggman is a villain. These characters don't age. Metal Sonic is made of metal. Sonic and his friends live on planet Earth. Humans do not look like freaky tentacle monsters, they look like people. Shadow is standoffish and a loner. It's extremely rare for Sonic to feel like he needs to cry. Sonic's favorite food is a chili dog, not Red Robin's bottomless fries for only $3.99. See, the purpose of mandates is to ensure that when you, the audience, picks up a Sonic story, it's going to always look and feel like a Sonic story. That is what a mandate is. A mandate is not somebody telling a writer not to do something. That is a request or a demand from a company to ensure the franchise continues uniformly. At any point, a writer can be called back and be told that they can do something now because the company has decided that it falls in line with the franchise's current direction. So there is no mandate that says when X character is on screen, you must kill them. There is no mandate that says Eggman cannot create unique robots in his army. There is no mandate that says there can never be a new Sonic character. There is no mandate that says you can't bring back or introduce characters and or concepts that originated from spin-offs. One of the most major reasons a company is saying no to something is because it would not fit for the current direction of a franchise. In the case of Shadow's inhibitor rings, something that Sega has not tried again since Sonic 06. At least for the year of 2019 when issue 19 and 20 were released, that was something that Sega was not trying to do ever again. So, in order to keep uniformity, Ian could not use the inhibitor rings. But later down the line, if they choose that now the inhibitor rings are a part of Shadow's character again, Ian can use them once more as long as it fits with the way that they're now using the inhibitor rings. That's how that works. You are aware that Sonic and his friends are not the only people here, right? The story of Shadow Generations is not good. It's simply not. There are so many holes, unanswered questions, and underutilized characters. Come on, guys, you couldn't come up with something better than Mimic just for no reason at all pulls away the knife from Dr. Starline and allows him to grab the Tricore. Shadow's care for the people and the planet has been implied throughout the entirety of the franchise. No bio that's trying not to spoil the story of Sonic Adventure 2 or the twist of Shadow 05 is ever going to change that.